Keir Starmer is about to put a Commons amendment uh, that will reflect the concerns about civilian deaths in Gaza and calling for longer pauses to deliver aid. I think the terminology that he's using is not sufficient. The the reason people are calling for a ceasefire is because they want to encourage the Western nations to put pressure on Israel. Calling for a ceasefire is not the best call that Western nations can make on Israel. They can build on what already exists. Uh, and the Western nations have, for the most part, defended the idea under Article 51 of that Israel has a right to self-defense. Now, that has been questioned, by the way. That has been questioned by people who point to paragraph 139 of an International Court of Justice ruling in 2004, which was about the wall that Israel built not only around Gaza but also around bits of the West Bank, and that therefore attacks from those occupied territories over which Israel still has control. So they may not be occupied in the sense that Israel is not in there, but it still has control of that wall. Therefore, an attack from those territories would not trigger a response of self-defense. The issue is complicated slightly more by the by the involvement of other excuse me by the involvement of other countries in the October the 7th attack, and whether Israel was or was not attacked partly by Iranian machinations may not be proven, but what is proven are missiles sent from Yemen. So the right to self-defense, I think, is reasonable in that case because there is evidence of other countries supporting the Hamas attack, the Qassam Brigade's attack on Israel, and that terrorist attack was extreme. What constitutes self-defense is a much bigger question, and I think that is something that, in the modern age where political debate has been replaced by sloganizing, the 90 members of the Labour front bench who publicly diverged from the party's official position, as if all people in politics are supposed to be bleating the same message like sheep. Well, I know in the Conservative Party that is exactly what they're told to do. This is the word that we will be using. And then people have to start using that word rather than this word. And people need to be on message rather than off message. But yes, the 90 members of the front bench have pulled away from collective responsibility to express their own alliance with the calls for ceasefire, rather than explaining or debating the issue of whether ceasefire is actually the best thing to be asking for. Peace is the best thing to be asking for, and how to reach that peace is a debatable process. And calling an intransigent and defiant prime minister like Netanyahu, demanding things that he has absolutely determined he will not provide and give an inch on, is simply to shore up his determination and defiance. That isn't the way forward. The way forward is to deal with to deal and build on the things he has already granted, and to ensure that ultimately that's where we end up. Maybe at a ceasefire, but certainly at a lasting peace. I think the siege and the ground invasion was fundamentally wrong, but I still believe that Israel has a right to self-defense. And the 50 councillors who have resigned from the Conservative Party, the gathering of Muslim activists who are planning to put out independent candidates to stand against official Labour candidates during the next general election. This is the result of a lawyer of the calibre of Keir Starmer not doing his job effectively, because what he pronounced in the in the various statements is not sufficient to sort out the problem, and uh, he has the ability. Unlike Suella Braverman, he has the ability to explain and to bring an audience of sympathetic Labour followers along with him, and he's failed to do so. And I don't quite understand why he's been so mealy-mouthed about this. But maybe I need to go into this and examine exactly what he said, and explain where he could have changed tack, and what other options were open to him. There were options, and instead of taking them, he's preferred to be basically mute. That's not the role of a party leader. That's not the role of a prime minister.